You're listening to a Podfix Network podcast. They're actually doing pretty good, as what I've heard in the comedy world, and I put a lot of money into Facebook, and so
Geoff, we all know you bought a museum in the metaverse. We all know it.
And
You
that would
called
be a
it
good,
you called it the Geoff Zeum.
This would be a good time to plug Geoff Zeum. So
No.
if any of you cowboys out there are in the metaverse, be sure to stop by the Geoff Zeum. I don't know how addresses work in the metaverse, so I can't tell you where it is.
This is a
But
problem.
The
if
worst
you-
part
but-
about the Geoff Zeum is that he takes artifacts from like all over the rest of the metaverse and takes them away from its rightful cultures
You're a
in
monster.
the metaverse.
Yeah.
And and holds them in a place where the people from the metaverse who culture
Okay,
it is can't even look at it. It's fucked
So
up.
by keeping them in the Geoff Zeum, I actually allow people all over the world to appreciate them because it's there in the Geoff
all over the
Zeum.
metaverse, all over the metaverse.
And
Yeah,
and
it's
if
not the world, it's the metaverse.
Matt, can you put the QR code for the Geoff Zeum in the chat?
in the podcast, in the audio of this podcast.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Little Bits and Pieces. My name is Matt Walker and I am 1/3 of Walrus. The other thirds are here with me.
I'm Jeffrey Fella, and
I'm Christian Torres.
I'm gonna give you guys a little secret. I every time we do the intros of the show,
Yeah.
I edit them
Oh.
so hard.
Do you
so
really?
hard. Yeah. So it goes, "Hi, I'm Matt from Walrus, and I'm Christian, and I'm Geoff, and we're here to talk about because
So someone listening to this isn't gonna know that
No.
why you even edit it, right?
No. Because the last episode, I forgot to.
Oh.
So I said, my name's Matt Walker. And then the next person, and then you both talked over each other. And it was so funny.
You would think after having done as many episodes as we have that we would just like
Go,
pick
you
pick
go
which
second.
order. Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah, I thought about bringing that up, but there's something so joyful about it.
Well,
Hearing us fuck up so hard right at the top every time.
comedians aren't known for their timing. So Matt, why don't you ask us a question about festivals?
Oh, that's a great point, Geoff, because that brings me to the question of the episode,
Ooh.
which is what do we think about festivals? What do we think about them? Huh? Love them? Hate them? No. What are your experiences with festivals, and what makes a really good festival a really good festival?
Yeah, I'm pro festival myself. The first festival I think I ever went to was fresh out of college. I went to a college improv tournament. I think was probably the
Oh,
first
yeah.
thing I ever did.
Wait, you
that
did
was
that?
like yeah, I
In
did. Yeah,
Sarasota? You went
yeah,
down to
yeah. I actually did it in
What?
Sarasota too. It's funny actually because like I did it and like Daryl, who had sent me, who was there when for the show. I did because
What?
he sent me a picture like years later when we knew each other. Sent me a picture like, "Is this you?" and stuff. And I'm pretty sure Will gave me notes that because it was one day like
Whoa.
last year. He said something to me that I remembered getting back as a note on one of my cards, and I'm like, "Wow, that's the exact same terminology that was used."
Weird.
Because somebody left me a note in my review to like
In your locker.
yeah, or
Do you like me?
yeah, because when you do the tournament, you get like a review, and it was like earn your curse words or something like that. And he said,
That's
he
right.
said that exact same thing to me, like years later, and I was like, I wonder. But no, and since then I've gone to quite a few festivals, mostly in the Florida area, but also abroad, or not abroad, never been abroad, but to a lot of the rest of the country, and
Yeah.
they're a good time. They're always fun,
What makes the really good ones stand out to you?
I would say the thing about festivals for me and is that it is almost more about the social element of it, and like
Oh
the
yeah.
going on the trip, and like that sort of just the whole memories that you make. Because often, not so much these days, but I remember when I first started going to them. One of my things was, man, if I'm going to a festival, the show that we do is probably going to be shit, but it's going to be a good
Yeah.
vacation. Because I remember I did the Del Close Marathon, which is like a famous improv festival that does
Yeah.
1 year, and the show that we did was absolute garbage. It was hot garbage, and the slot we had was like, I want to say we had two. One was at like midnight or something, and the other one was like 10 in the morning the next day or
Yeah,
something.
for those who don't know, the Del Close Marathon is literally 72 hours of straight improv at like 10 different venues in New York. It's an
Yeah,
insane it's insane.
yeah, and it's like I don't think it happens anymore. I think they ended it a few
No,
years
they
ago.
stopped it. Yeah, well, it's because the New York UCB's closed down.
Right, right, but yeah, and so they have them going like all hours of the night. Something it's like it's funny because like before you go perform, like I had never performed in New York, I think before then, and like coming from Florida, you get this vibe of like, ooh, I wonder what it's like to perform, in the city and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you go there, and it's like, oh no, it's still, it's still just like a shitty venue that nobody gives a shit about, but but I'm in the city, so it's
Wee. I can get pizza.
right, right, I can get pizza. It's like
Yippee!
it's like there's still not that many people in the audience, but hey, it's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, so I would say the shitty and not to say shitty festivals, but the shitty times that I've had at festivals is usually due to that. It's just like overcrowding. It's like I like the social element of them a lot. Like I love networking with everybody because I think that again, I think improvisers um are our
Greatest
audience.
enemies? Oh,
No, they're
our
like
audience. Oops.
they're our people, because they understand what we're doing and we're subverting it all.
Right.
Um,
Oh, and just because I think I didn't make the point I mentioned, but I meant to make by bringing it up, that the show we did was really bad, but it was a really nice trip to New York when I did.
oh, and, to bring up the point that I was making, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, I just
No,
thought that
I'm
I
kidding.
just felt like I didn't actually mention. I brought this thing up and didn't bring up why I mentioned it in the first place. Like, having very fond memories of a thing, even though the show itself was hot garbage. It's
Yeah. Well, because I mean, that's what they are. Because I mean, everybody's kinda like shelling out a little bit of money for them, and
yeah,
it's
that
kinda
that
like,
that is the thing. They can be a little pricey,
it better be
especially
fun, like
especially when you're doing the traveling ones. Like it's
yeah.
yeah, it gets a little pricey, and you got to look for ways to kind of cut some costs. Which
Yeah, but I mean, what's good too about going, what I've enjoyed about going to these festivals with other Florida teams is we get to go up and we like split costs. We get big houses that we just hang out in, and it's like it's actually pretty cheap. Some of these places, uh, which I should also say, we're going to be in Nashville when this episode's releasing. So at the Third Coast Comedy Improv Festival. Very fun festival. I went in 2019. This was one of my favorite ones that I've been to. There's basically my list is countdown because Justin and Kelly trust me to do so much shit and I get to have a really fun time. And they're the best. And they don't have coffee in the green room, but they have a great spread. It's a good spread.
it is a good spread. Yeah, it is a good spread.
um, that's countdown for me, and honestly, thus far it's been Third Coast. Then it was Omaha was awesome too.
Really, yeah,
Yeah, I really enjoyed Omaha. And then those are like my top three. I loved this Nashville one, and I'm very excited that you guys get to go with me this time. Um,
yeah. No, I'm very excited for it. I am very stoked because it's nice too. It's like you end up meeting a lot of people from all over the country,
mhm.
which is really nice. Like expanding your network a lot. And like to the point where it's like I was, I moved recently to Chicago and like new people here who I had met, doing
Yeah,
festivals and stuff, and now so it's like now you can go places where it's like you would never really been before, and now you kind of have like social support that you didn't have before because you met people on the road, kind of, and it's really cool, and you
yeah.
getting a chance to meet
Uh,
people.
Well, I just kind of want to jump in and just say that, from my perspective, I I hate festivals.
Yeah.
It's good to have a counterpoint. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
very
you're
good.
welcome.
All right, good night. Jeff.
What do you hate about them?
No, I did.
No,
I
doesn't.
no,
just
you
wanted
did.
to
You
provide
you
a.
you open
I
this.
wanted
You
to
open
provide a
this
counterpoint.
He
gates.
enjoys them.
It's no, they're not perfect.
I mean, what
All
is?
of them at
And
once.
Wow, what a stance to have.
Nah, yeah,
Festivals
they're
aren't
fun.
perfect.
I like coming out. I like meeting people that especially when it's out of towners and you're like, oh, you're so great. I wish that you lived here. We could perform together.
Yeah.
Because then you think about the people you do perform with on a regular basis, and it just kind of fills you with this sort of dread, I guess. And so it's good. It's good. I like festivals. The first festival I ever had, I think, kind of set unrealistic expectations. We went to, I took what it was like. The college team that I was directing at that point was something like 13 large, and we somehow got the college to give us enough money to fly us all up to Chicago for the Chicago Improv trip, Improv Festival, which is insane. I mean, it's insane, right? And not only that, but a lot of the faculty from the college had come up. They just happened to be there for a meeting
What?
and also saw, like a lot of the faculty members were at that show. So we packed the house with like our people, and it was really cool. That's also like I was kind of given like a backstage tour of Second City because like knew a guy who knew a guy, and we had such a blast, and we did a little bit of improv outside of the festival as well, if I remember correctly. And just like, you know, uh, that's a very unrealistic. Festivals can be a lot of fun, and you usually get that to some degree. This was obviously like the 10 out of 10 experience. But I think college did that in a lot of different ways, for what improv
Yeah.
is like as an adult, as a 30-year-old man. But
Excuse you, I'm 31.
you look it, Matt.
Yeah.
The one thing I always have trouble with at festivals is knowing how many shows to see, because like I think like no matter how good it is, like my just who I am as a
Threshold.
person, yeah, like
Right.
my like capacity to sit still in one place is kind of is kind of limited, and,
Yeah.
and so like I have trouble sometimes like marathoning shows
I don't know
sometimes.
anyone. I don't know anyone who hears like of an improv marathon or sitting through, and it's just like I love improv that much. It's like because I love it. I don't even if they were all amazing shows. I think after 2 hours, I'm pretty tapped.
Right, right.
Mm. See,
But
I I used to think that, and then I was in Omaha, and these shows were so fucking good
I know you have to
that
plug Matt. I know,
no,
okay.
I'm telling you, I like um is you realize going to like two festivals, you're like, okay, the talent pool isn't deeper. It's not. For most of it, it's just like, yeah, this place is not or as good as where I am. But sometimes you go to places and you see stuff that just like, damn, I saw a show in Omaha. I cannot remember exactly what it was called. It was Staps, I think, but it was basically a one-man improv show. It was two-man improv show. It was a guy and the audience was the entire other person.
Hmm.
And it was incredible. And I was like, I want to do something like this. This is something that really inspired me. And then the next block was stand up. So I watched two people and was like, I can't watch people complain about things and talk about jerking off anymore. And I left. But if it was more improv, I probably would have stayed because I was just so inspired by that. That's the thing that festivals you think you're going to go to, you're like, oh, I'm going to see stuff I've never even thought of before. But typically, it's like 98% of it is stuff you have A, done before, or B, seen over and over and over and over again. But then there's like always those little nuggets that if you don't marathon the shit, you're gonna miss that guy doing that thing that
Yeah,
inspired me. And
that's
it's always my mindset. I'm like, I don't want to watch this next show, but what if it's fucking good? I'm
Right,
like,
well, that's
Yeah.
yeah,
I can't escape it.
there's always like a regret of like, man, I wish I had like gone to a few more, or
Yeah.
it's like, inevitably like you get those moments at like after parties or something of people like saying, "Did you see like X Y Z?" And it's like, ah, fuck, I
Yeah.
missed that
It's like,
one,
damn it.
and it's like, ah, God, missed the good
Are,
one. But
did have either of you ever been to like the Burning Man UCB combo improv festival?
is that a real thing?
I mean, could you imagine?
Yes,
Yes, I can.
easily.
That sounds like a festival.
No, I mean, like doing improv at Burning Man. I mean, I guess I really don't know
You
anything about
do
Burning
you
Man. I'm
think
really,
What?
I don't
can
know.
you
You
tell
what
me
do you
with
think? It's all
certainty?
scripted comedy at Burning Man? You
'Cause
think that's what
Yeah,
they're
that
doing?
was my impression.
I would be shocked if there was not improv going on somewhere in Burning Man. Somewhere in Burning Man, there is a tent where someone is doing improv.
Yes.
I
I
would bet money on that.
1000%.
Do I think that is well attended? No, but I think it's happening.
I bet
Alright.
it's well attended. I bet people are so into the healing arts that they're like, this is not funny, but it changes me.
So I guess this kind of leads into my next question. What would you like to see more of at improv festivals? So for example, more gemology or more
Is that the study of a person named Jim, or is that Jim's with a G?
gem. Yeah, that's with a G. I get because the way I
Um,
spell my name, there's a lot of issues there.
Yeah, I'm lost.
What's something you feel is missing from improv?
Well, coffee in the green room at Countdown. That's the number one thing, I think.
I do always like coffee, so that is nice actually. If there,
Look, it didn't even start as a bit. It started as me giving the suggestion to them on a Google form that was like, "Oh, coffee'd be cool in the green room." And then they took it and ran with it, and they're like, "This fucking guy, he's such a dick about his coffee."
it feels like a very convenient bit to save some money
Yeah,
in the snack
yeah.
table.
Justin and Kelly, you're on blast.
Now, but you've never had coffee at the festivals you've hosted.
I don't.
Have
Well,
you hosted a festival?
I have not hosted a festival, which makes sense. But you know what I do always do? I always bring a big old 24 pack of beer for everybody that nobody drinks. 'Cause improvisers notoriously do not drink anything.
I mean, if you brought like a keg of wine, maybe.
What a weird
It's like
thing to
a
have about
nice-
improvisers.
a-
That would be like
It's true. I don't know.
I-
In
the-
our area, at least.
the improvisers I have known
Well,
drink a
yeah.
lot.
But like a house Chianti?
Wait, why are you pointing at me? A house Chianti.
Something made from an Italian grape, with a nice
Mm.
full
Like a
body.
Moscato?
I already said Chianti, so I don't know. Oh, you're saying Moscato grapes. I see. I don't know enough about wine to. Yeah, I'm in the wrong here.
Wait, what?
I'm in the wrong here, and
No,
I'll accept that. and I'll-
Moscato is a type of wine
Oh,
that you can get.
Isn't it a type of grape though? It's Moscato grapes.
That's
that make
n-
Moscato
no,
wine?
It's
No,
no, it's not Moscato. It's
Maraschino.
no, it's
Oh, maraschino grapes, like what you get in your shakes.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up, guys.
Well, I
It's
hope
a
you're not.
muscat. It's a muscat.
You're
it's a
not still
muskrat?
using the
Yeah.
old internet, are you? Because there's a really good place where you can get all the information you're looking for.
It's gonna be Bing.
No, it's
Dogpile.
it's the Geoff
Ask
Zeum.
Jeeves. Oh, I'd rather ask Jeeves.
Well, you're not gonna get the information you're looking for. Is who? I don't know.
Well, let's hold on, everybody. Let's reset.
Well, I feel like Jeff had a question.
No, he was bumbling through nothing to find a question.
No, he had a question. all
Don't
right?
go
act like that's not what we do. That's
A Jeff's twin.
as we call them at the Geoff Zeum. Thank you. I guess somebody is gone. Somebody took my invitations, Matt.
Yeah, well, it was one of those like suggested donation museums, which was nice. So I paid like $1.
Oh.
I wasn't aware that you had gone. I'm actually really happy to hear that. Because we get a lot of visitors, and it's nice to know that there's people I actually know that are
Yeah.
visiting. Would you do would you do an improv festival in the in the metaverse?
No, for the God, no part of me. Would you guys? Would you
I
guys?
mean, I'd have to
What
see it. I'd have to see
I-
how horrible that would be. That'd be
Guys,
amazing.
I once saw Ever Maynard and like this crazy lineup of stand-up comedians did not in the metaverse, but they did virtual reality stand-up,
Mm,
and it was there is a beautiful comedy to it that you are definitely picking up on, Jeff. And it's
Oh
that like
yeah.
they're like talking or whatever, and like their arms kind of move up and down,
Oh
and then it's like,
yeah.
and then they like glitch and like jump down into the floor and then pop back up and shit. The funniest thing, it's just watching it, and then it's like in a Zoom room, when people are like, "We're gonna do an improv or stand-up show in Zoom. Leave your microphones on so you can hear laughs."
right.
And then it's like you hear someone that's like,
Yeah.
"That dude, we were once in this show," and then someone goes like, "This isn't good," like into their mic. They're like, "This isn't. Who's that?" It's like, "I don't like this," and it was like, and then I think I don't remember what it was even, but whoever the person was had to mute them. But it was just so funny. But you know how it is, where it's just like a good joke happens, and it's like
Yeah.
you hear 3 people laugh at it maybe a second after it finishes.
Oh, yeah.
So did
Oh.
you? I know the answer to this is no, but did you see Eminem and Snoop Dogg did a concert as their NFTs?
Did they really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's.
saw clips. I
I know
didn't watch it live.
Oh,
I know
okay.
concerts have happened in the metaverse and in Fortnite
But
and
this is their
online. I know they
as
do that kind of
they
thing,
were
but
performing as their what is it? Ape Yacht Club or
Bored
whatever?
apes,
Bored
bored
Ape
apes.
Bored Ape
Oh,
avatar of the
gotcha.
NFTs. And all of this is to say that, of course, I did book us a slot at the Geoff Zeum
Okay.
to perform as our NFTs.
Oh, was that a tough slot to get?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Who were we fighting off? Eminem and Snoop Dogg.
No, okay, I can't
because
get super
great
big
at
names.
well, they're not great
but
at improv, so
Yeah. It's an improv night at
I'd
Geoff
watch
Zeum.
it. I would absolutely watch that.
Look, I would do it just to mess with it. Like
Yeah, that's what I want to get. I think I'm actually like kind of convinced that we need to hold a show in the metaverse just to see how bad this can
God,
be.
but I want to use I want it to be a video game where like or WAS and D are like move forward and back and left and right. And
I mean,
stuff.
isn't it kind of? Isn't that the
I
metaverse?
think it is. That's what's so funny about
But
it.
no, you have the things in your hands.
Well,
it's,
yeah, the new stuff, but what this show that I'm talking about was just was like predated all this. It was the funniest
That's
thing.
amazing. That's so good. That's so
What
good.
what's so funny about that stuff is like the room that they were in whatever this virtual reality thing was, it's just like a huge, vast room. And it's like you go to the metaverse and you look inside the place and it's just this blank it's just everything's just this blank vast space and it's just insane.
What it is it's amazing that so much technology can result in something so mediocre. It's
So
like it's
ugh.
like having the most intricate clockwork you could possibly have, and the face of the clock is like it's like a toy, like it's a toy watch that you pulled from a dentist's chest.
I
It's
mean,
like, it's awful.
I will say like I mean that's how clocks work. It could be anything on the face and that's like a clock still.
But that's no, but
No,
that
this
is
would
my
be like
metaphor, is saying that it can be anything, but it's so mediocre.
yeah, I guess this would be more of something where appearances of it would matter.
So I guess this is like if you be like creating like a brand new world and the shit you made was just like a gray room.
I mean, yeah,
I
it's
mean, because that's what it is. I didn't.
Yeah, I know. That's
well now I want to think about this. It's like
yeah. What's a good metaphor? What's the best metaphor for the metaverse?
The
that we
best
can think
metaphor.
of.
The best
But
metaphor
it has
for the
to embody
metaverse.
the idea that in general, it's a lot of technology going towards something that is just
Yes.
utterly mediocre.
Yes.
So what metaphor? Probably something like, boy, I'm thinking like, but I don't know.
Here you go. Here you go. It's like a factory that has workers on salary, an exorbitant salary, everybody in there, and they're churning out toothpaste lids. It's like this amazing machinery and this very cut rate, no, state of the art machinery making toothpaste caps.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Like slightly crooked toothpaste caps. They won't even screw on
It's
right.
like making like a really dope like PC setup and like spending like thousands of dollars on it and then only using it for Word documents.
Yeah,
That's
pretty good.
there it is.
That's pretty
there
good.
it is. We found it. Not even Word document,
Hey.
like Notepad.
What's the toothpaste lid thing from? What is that from?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Thank you. That's right. I could not.
I was gonna ask if you were doing a specific reference to that because that's the first thing I thought.
I wasn't, but it was in my brain for
Yeah,
some
because his
reason.
dad gets his dad gets
That's
laid
right.
off
He
because
makes little
they
toys out of them.
and they replace them with a robot who makes them.
Right. That's right. Well, that's another episode of Little Bits and Pieces, all about festivals, guys.
And the metaverse a lot.
Next
Kind of a twofer.
Next time, you might hear of us while we're in Nashville at the
Ooh.
Third Coast Comedy Improv Festival. Hope
And
to see you there.
if any cowboys out there are interested in the Geoff-verse, please remember to scan that QR code in the description. We are open Monday through Friday.
And also, November 12th, we have a show at Greenlight Cinemas that we are producing called the Movie Trivia Comedy Show, followed with a double feature show, which is basically Mystery Science Theater, but we're calling it Awful, Horrible, Bad, Bad, Bad Movie Night, or AHB3.
That one's not a bit. That is actually what it's.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to remind all cowboys that the Geoffseum, it does use the largest amount of servers for any sort of application software thing in the world. So this is a big deal.
Is it
And
cowboy specific thing or like why is it cowboys?
That's what.
Because that's what we call our fans. They're
Oh,
cowboys.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, cowboys? Yeehaw. Yeehaw.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, I guess let's lasso up this
Yeehaw,
episode then and
yeehaw.
saddle up
And
and
tie a little bow and
Right into the sunset.
get along, you little doggies and
Dogies.
oh, sorry, doggies.
All right, doggies. Bye, cowboys. Bye.
Hi, I'm Christian Torres from Walrus. If you're interested in supporting this show, the best thing that you can do is rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Make sure to check out walrus.com, that's WALLARES, for a full list of our socials, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stay tuned for news about any live shows that we may have, and new episodes of Little Bits and Pieces come out every Thursday wherever you get your podcasts.
The show you've just listened to is a part of the Podfix Network. To listen to other shows on the network, head over to podfixnetwork.com. Follow on Twitter @Podfix and join the Podfix Nation at facebook.com/Podfix.